is computer security? Computer security basically is the protection of computer systems and information from harm, theft and unauthorized use. It is the process of preventing and detecting unauthorized use of your computer system. There are various types of computer security which is widely used to protect the valuable information of an organization. Different types of computer security. Information security is securing information from unauthorized access, modification and deletion. Application security is securing an application by building security features to prevent from cyber threats such as SQL injection, DOS attacks, data breaches and etc. Computer security means securing a standalone machine by keeping it updated and patched. Network security is by securing both the software and hardware technologies. Cyber security is defined as protecting computer systems which communicate over the computer networks. It is important to understand the distinction between these words, though there isn't necessarily a clear consensus on the meanings and the degree to which they overlap or interchangeable. So, computer security can be defined as controls that are put in place to provide confidentiality, integrity and availability for all components of computer systems. Let's elaborate the definition. Components of a computer system protected. The components of a computer system that needs to be protected are hardware, the physical part of the computer like the system memory and disk drive, firmware, permanent software that is etched into a hardware device, non-volatile memory and is mostly invisible to the user. Software, the programming that offers a services like operating system, word processor, internet browser to the user. Securing internet transactions. Nowadays, the security of the transactions are very important because these days most of the things are happening online. The transaction happen in the following forms. When you go in a market and you use a POS for payment, then a transaction occurs. In your mobile phone, when you download an Android app to order something like the eBay app, when you pay something through an online payment service like paypal.com, a secure transaction happens in an encrypted form which happens between the site that we are connected to and the browser that we are using. It happens through a file in which the website provides its details, which we will deal further in the following sections. A simpler indication is recognizing the difference between a secure and insecure connection, of which HTTPS is a secure site while HTTP is not secure. If you or your users are using Google Chrome, you can push them to always connect securely if the web page supports it. Always prefer the HTTPS extension. If you are using a Mozilla Firefox, there is an add-on called HTTPS Everywhere. We should do a transaction only through web pages that we know or when they have a good reputation. So, in simple words, you should visit those web pages that you trust and even though you trust. It is recommended to do the transaction through payment gateways like PayPal, so you don't transmit bank account details to third parties. Digital signatures. A digital certificate, also called a public key certificate, is a notice that guarantees a user or a website is legitimate. E-commerce applications commonly use digital certificates. A certificate authority or issuing authority is an authorized company or person that issues and verifies digital certificates. You apply for a digital certificate from a CA. What makes up a digital certificate? The electronic files that comprise the digital certificate contain the person's name, an email address, a serial number, a public key, an expiration date. Certificates are valid for 5 years. Why should I use a digital certificate? There are several benefits to using digital certificates. Send signed email messages. This ensures the recipients that the message came from you are not someone pretending to be you. This is particularly important when sending out official university messages, such as from the President's office. Encrypt the contents of email messages and attachments, protecting them from being read by online intruders. Only your intended recipients can decrypt them. Encrypt files and or folders on your computer. This is helpful for lost or stolen mobile devices and laptops because thieves would need to know your password to access any of the encrypted files or folders. Streamline business processes by allowing people to use digital certificates to electronically sign documents or approve something at a given stage of the process. Secure socket layer. Secure sockets layer provides private key encryption of all data that passes between a client and a server. SSL requires that a client has a digital certificate. Once the server has a digital certificate, the web browser communicates securely with the client. Web pages that use SSL typically begin with HTTPS instead of HTTP. Secure HTTP. Yes, HTTP allows you to choose an encryption scheme for data that passes between a client and a server. With yes HTTP, the client and server both must have a digital certificates. Yes HTTP is more difficult to use than SSL, but it is more secure. Applications that must verify the authenticity of a client, such as for online banking, use yes HTTP. Secure electronic transaction. Secure electronic transaction specification uses a public key encryption to secure credit card transaction systems. The set specification is quite complex, making it slow on some systems. Firewall. Firewalls have existed since the late 1980s and started out as packet filters, which were networks set up to examine packets or bytes transferred between computers. Though packet filtering firewalls are still in use today, firewalls have come a long way as a technology has developed throughout the decades. Generation 1 virus. Generation 1, late in 1980s, virus attacks on stand-alone PCs affected all business and drove antivirus products. Generation 2 networks. Generation 2, mid in 1980s, attacks from the internet affected all business and drove creation of the firewall. Generation 3 applications. Generation 3, early 2000s, exploiting vulnerabilities in applications which affected most business and drove intrusion prevention systems products. Generation 4, payload. Generation 4, approximately 2010, rise of targeted, unknown, evasive, polymorphic attacks which affected most business and drove anti-bot and sandboxing products. Generation 5, mega. Generation 5, approximately 2017, large-scale multi-vector mega attacks using advanced attack tools and is driving advanced threat prevention solutions. Back in 1993, Checkpoint CEO Gil Saved introduced the first stateful inspection firewall. Firewall fast forward 27 years and a firewall's is still an organization's first line of defense against cyber attacks. Today's firewalls, including next generation firewalls and network firewalls, support a wide variety of functions and capabilities with built-in features including network threat prevention, application and identity-based control, hybrid cloud support, scalable performance. Types of firewalls. A packet filtering. A small amount of data is analyzed and distributed according to the filter standards. Proxy service. Network security system that protects while filtering messages at the application layer. Dynamic packet filtering that monitors active connections to determine which network packets to allow through the firewall. Next generation firewall. Deep packet inspection firewall with application level inspection. What firewalls do? A firewall is a necessary part of any security architecture and takes the guesswork out of host level protections and enters them to your network security device. Firewalls, and especially next generation firewalls, focus on blocking malware and application layer attacks along with an integrated intrusion prevention system. These next generation firewalls can react quickly and seamlessly to detect and react to outside attacks across the whole network. They can set policies to better depend your network and carry out quick assessments to detect invasive or suspicious activity like malware and shut it down. Why do we need firewalls? Firewalls, especially next generation firewalls, focus on blocking malware and application layer attacks. Along with an integrated intrusion prevention system, these next generation firewalls are able to react quickly and seamlessly to detect and combat attacks across the whole network. Firewalls can act on previously set policies to better protect your network and can carry out quick assessment to detect invasive or suspicious activity such as malware and shut it down. By leveraging a firewall for your security infrastructure, you are setting up your network with specific policies to allow or block incoming and outgoing traffic. Spyware is a type of malicious software or malware that is installed on a computing device without the end user's knowledge. It invades the device, steals sensitive information and internet usage data and relays it to advertisers, data firms or external users. Any software can be classified as spyware if it is downloaded without the user authorization. Spyware is controversial because even when it is installed for relatively innocuous reasons, it can violate the end user's privacy and has the potential to be abused. Spyware is one of the most common threats to internet users. Once installed, it monitors internet activity, tracks login credentials, and spies on sensitive information. The primary goal of spyware is usually to obtain credit card numbers, banking information, and passwords. But spyware can also be used to track a person's location, as is the case with stalkerware, often installed secretly on mobile phones by jealous spouses, ex-partners, and even concerned parents. This type of spyware can track the physical location of the victim, intercept their emails and texts, eavesdrop on their phone calls and record conversations, and access personal data such as photos and videos. Spyware can be difficult to detect. Often, the first indication a user has that a computing device has been infected with spyware is a noticeable reduction in a processor or network connection speeds and, in the case of mobile devices, data usages and battery life. Anti-spyware tools can be used to prevent or remove spyware. They can either provide real-time protection by scanning network data and blocking malicious data, or they can execute scans to detect and remove spyware already on a system. Spam. Spam is a unsolicited internet content that is typically sent in bulk for advertising purposes from an unknown senders. Spam is sometimes defined more broadly as any unsolicited email. However, the advancement of email filtering and privacy laws have led spammers toward other mediums for sending messages, specifically social media. In addition to wasting people's time, spam also consumes a lot of network bandwidth. Why is it called spam? The rise of chat rooms and bulletin boards services in the 1980s expanded the term when some users began repeatedly posting spam to consume the screen space. This new context gave way to spam being used in reference to the same message being sent repeatedly to prevent other messages from getting attention or to push out other users in the same chat. Types of spam. The original spam messages came in the form of email and message boards or forums. Email spam messages, also called junk mail, were usually intended for advertising or other types of marketing campaigns, and spam has historically constituted more than 2/3 of all email content since the commercialization of the internet in the 1990s. Similarly, messages boards and forums were often subject to high volumes of spam until moderators and filtering technology became more strict about discerning spam from genuine posts. Dear students, today we are discussing about computer security, types of computer security, securing internet transactions, digital signature, different types of firewalls, spyware, spam. I hope you people are enjoying my class. Thank you.